The star of the segment, the person who also has mic access apart from me. Kindly come on in. How about we do a very big reveal? Your video can be off, but how about your audio is on? Mr. Sreeji?
Yeah. Hello, Nikita.
Oh,
Hi.
Yes, yes. Mr. Sreeji, thank you so much for correctly pronouncing my name. I always say Ankita or Nikita or something other than Nikita. So, Mrs. Sreeji, we're going to do a very big reveal with you, all right? So, we want you to enter like a star when your name is announced. But before that, I want you to ask, please say how, Nikita.
Sorry, please say how.
Yes, just say, please say how.
How?
Fantastic. How? Because apart from being the global CIO of a star company, he truly is a star himself, an actor par supreme. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Mr. Sreeji Gopinathan, the global
Okay.
CIO Lupin Limited. Mr. Sreeji, come on in like the hero that you are.
Okay. I don't think I can make a dramatic entry sitting on my table from my home. It's a four wall. I don't think I can do much more than this. Sorry about that, Nikita.
No, Mr. Sreeji, that was fantastic, as it is. So, Mr. Sreeji, we have taken the liberty to play a small game. So, are you all ready? And do you see where we are heading with this?
All right.
Oh, fantastic. I love a speaker who's all said, despite not knowing what is going to be ahead. I mean, I love the spirit. Okay. So we request you to showcase a small snippet of your supreme acting skills for your fans. And ladies and gentlemen, by the way, Mr. Shriji is a pentalinguist. All right. So, Mr. Shriji, we know you speak five languages, but for the convenience of your fans, please enact your favorite dialogue in Hindi, English, or better, both.
Oh my goodness. I think I'll be safe if I say it in Malayalam so that no one will understand it. No, no. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know whether I want to say a dialogue. I think one of the funny things that has happened is in one of the movies there was a song sequence, and at the end I did a Shah Rukh Khan sort of thing. I did not do it. The director and the song director wanted me to do it like this. Mm, that thing, and the girl was on my chest. That was really pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. I will leave the dialogue out.
Fantastic, fantastic. Mr. Shriji, why be a Shah Rukh Khan when you can be Shriji Gopinathan?
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
Fantastic.
I hope so. I hope so at some point. Still a
It,
very, very small fry in it.
this is my point, Mr. Gopinathan. What a sport! Absolutely fantastic, and looking forward to hearing you. Stage is all yours.
Thank you. Thanks, Nikita. Really appreciate inviting me for this, and thank you very much. Let me just share my screen as well. Just a second. I hope all of you can see my screen. I've put it on the full screen mode. I hope you can see that as well. If Nikita, you can confirm that you can see the screen, that's good.
Yes, Mr. Gopinathan, we can.
Okay. All right. So basically, the topic that I'd like to cover in the next 20 minutes, I'll try and see whether I can finish it in 15 to 17 minutes so that we have some time for any questions that might come back as well. So this last year and a half was unprecedented in all of our lives, I think. And what this has resulted in the industry, in the companies, in the organizations, and the environment, and the homes that we are in, it has gone through a pretty significant transformation, right? So we will talk a little bit about from industry context. We'll go into that in the subsequent slide. I mean, I put it there as digital wins. I would like to actually call it as digital shifts. There has been some digital shifts that has happened, especially in the healthcare, which is where my sector is connected to, which is pharma. And then I will cover a little bit of the challenges and how potentially the future might be looking like. Yeah, so that's the agenda that we will cover today. So yeah, transformation, basically, there is a standing joke, as everybody knows, who has led the digital transformation, or at least created the momentum for the digital transformation in a lot of the organizations, whether it is any of the CXOs, and the answer is COVID-19, right? So this is the biggest impact that the pandemic has had, in spite of all the difficulties that all of us have been going through over the past many months. This is one good thing that the pandemic has done. There have been a lot of fence sitters. There have been a lot of difficult conversations that IT professionals have been having in the past in terms of adoption of digital mechanisms, technologies to transform the way we execute our processes in business. So, essentially what excuse me, I'm just going to take some water. So COVID-19 pandemic basically has had a significant impact on the way we interact within the organization, on the way that we interact with our customers, with our partners, with our vendors, right? So essentially that has resulted in acceleration of the digital journey that we have been on. So this is evident in any area of the organization that you look at, any interaction that you're looking at from an external ecosystem point of view as well. It could be an industry 4.0 journey that some organizations would have started. It could be a supply chain transformation. It could be a sales and marketing engagement model with the different types of customers in our sector. It could be the doctors and the patients or whoever it is. So there is acceleration in all of these different areas is what we are definitely seeing. And I'm sure all of you guys will relate to what I'm trying to say here. The other area which has gone through a significant transformation is the employee experience. All of us are trying to contribute to the best of our abilities by working from anywhere. What this essentially means is not just about connecting in a meeting over Microsoft Teams or Zoom or any of those tools that is out there, but it is also about effective engagement with our stakeholders, with our customers, so that the outcomes are achieved as well. So there are different mechanisms that companies have taken up. It could be learning sessions, it could be collaboration sessions, it could be fun sessions, it could be content driven sessions that is happening. It could be ideation. There are hackathons that is happening in different organizations. So apart from the actual delivery of the work, there is a significant piece of engagement initiative that is that organizations are going through as well. And this, in the end, has to lead to the well-being of the employee, which is very, very paramount. If that is not there, nothing else matters, right? So we have had people who have gone through a little bit of breakdowns because of constant work, no boundaries of home and work, and all those things. And organizations are conscious about this and taking steps that this is addressed in an effective manner. So this is another area. And more importantly, it is the customer experience, right? So there are different facets, as you can see there. There is the traditional CRM systems. There's a lot of the social media leverage that we are doing. There's a lot of personalization that is starting to happen. So for example, when the medical rep is interacting with a doctor of a specific therapy, then how can we make sure that the rep is equipped to have the conversation in a as sharp manner as possible, which is relevant for that particular stakeholder, the doctor or the retailer or whoever it is, that conversation is going on. So there's a lot of work that is happening in that space. There is platforms that is coming out, engagement platforms. It could be in multiple directions. This could be not just in the form of exchanging information or gathering orders. It could also be in the form of facilitating things like telemedicine, teleconsultation, and also follow-through sessions and the like, and there is some educational level activities that is possible as well. So I'm not going to go through all of those, but largely I would say there is an organizational digital transformation happening. in different functions. There is an employee level transformation that is happening, and it will evolve. And there is clearly a customer, and maybe I can extend that to the other ecosystem of vendors and partners as well. But there is significant transformation that is happening, in the midst of this pandemic. Okay, moving on. Another point. While we are doing this, we all know that there is some news or the other on a daily basis about security related issues that is going on. Today I was reading a news where somebody somebody has found a home delivery service of food. They connected and they said they will be called back. He got a call back and he said there is no cash on delivery. It has to be online payment. He was sent a link. The guy clicked on the link. It downloaded a software which can capture the OTP, and the money was gone. He did not share the OTP himself, but the software which was downloaded captured the OTP coming on the mobile, and he lost money, something like 75,000 just for ordering his lunch. So we all have to be very, very careful in our personal life as well as our corporate life to make sure that whatever we do, digital means there is an inherent risk, and hence it has to be taken very, very seriously. No more creating something overnight and deploying. Go through this due diligence very, very effectively. Okay. Now, as I said, digital shifts. So one of the biggest shifts that we talked about is the healthcare delivery itself. So here, as you can see, the doctor or the healthcare professionals associated with the doctor is available virtually to connect with us. And in many instances, this is happening completely virtually, but there are instances where the decision is taken that there is a need for physical consultation, and then it might need a surgery or whatever, and then that is followed too. But this is a huge shift that has happened. We all know that it is not an easy thing in terms of the achievement, because there has been a certain way of working. There has been a certain comfort with doctors and healthcare professionals in how they were delivering the services. And again, necessity is the mother of invention here. So this shift has happened, and it is there to stay even post-pandemic. So there is a huge shift happening across the different stakeholders, as you can see there, whether it is a patient, whether it's a professional, whether it's organizations or the government and the policy makers. So some of the clear areas which is there is activities that is really hot is from a patient point of view, the front end that is being given to the patient, whether it is for consulting, whether it is for buying medicine, whether it is for learning, whether it is for self-diagnosis. There is medical record storing possibility that is starting to evolve. A lot of services are coming up. So this is clearly an area which is very, very hot. And this is from an industry point of view, this is going to go through a significant growth, I think. And there is as we discussed, telehealth consultation, huge. There is networking and connecting with peers that is going on in terms of it could be a medical education, it could be webinars, it could be discussions, it could be big conferences. All those things are happening now virtually, and there is a learning process associated with that. And as I mentioned, there are connected health platforms as well. There are other things also happening there, which as you can see there. And when it comes to the organizations and policymakers, also there is a lot of things happening in terms of predicting outbreaks or future risks, which might be out there. There's significant investment that governments and policymakers are putting in this space across the globe, and even in our country as well. So this is very interesting, very, very significant transformation opportunity that a lot of stakeholders can leverage, and probably for the benefit of the society as well as for the business. And from an organization point of view, as I mentioned, Industry 4.0 is a significant area which is picked up pretty nicely. And I think there is movement in each of these areas, in big data or analytics or system integration or cloud computing, a lot more advanced now, as opposed to probably an augmented reality. It's still nascent, but there is movement. Autonomous, robots, Internet of Things, cybersecurity is a cat and mouse game anyway. So I don't know whether it can never become green, but we have to be on our toes as far as this is concerned on a constant basis. This is also supported by a lot of other technologies out there like RPA, blockchain, digital twins, collaborative tools, all those things. Yeah. So there is significant momentum that is happening here. And the interesting thing here is, traditionally, whenever we talk digital, we always meant reporting and dashboards, which is now moved on to leveraging advanced analytics, data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, RPA, and there are skills out there, people out there. There is still shortage, and hence there is significant demand for that, which is very important to understand for the people also probably attending here. It is not just about the technology; it is about the domain understanding. It is about applying the data science on that domain understanding so that the outcomes can be driven. I don't think there is, I think the boundary lines in terms of having the technical skill versus the domain skill as well has blurred. And both these parties have to come closer to each other. Data scientists who has a manufacturing experience or a sales and marketing experience is going to be a far more effective capability there compared to just the technical understanding. So this is a big shift that is happening in this space. But of course, there are challenges with this. There's still a lot of technical skill gaps. Data is a big issue there. Data sensitivity, data integrity, data leakage, a lot of issues there. A lot of work going on, a lot of R&D going on, a lot of partners working with us. And then when it comes to systems, the OT environment, the operational technology environment versus the IT systems, there is a lot of interoperability issues. How do we connect each other in a secure manner? Okay, this is again very, very important. So if you look at some of the OEM machines and instruments, the software side of these machines, the embedded systems which is out there, is not fully evolved. And hence there is a lot of effort that is needing to be put by us in coordination with the OEMs to make sure that this is done in an interoperable manner, but in a very secure manner. The IT OT integration is going to be a significant thing that needs to be taken care of. And there is tremendous data growth. So we hear terabytes of data that is coming into the lakes or the warehouses on a daily basis, which needs to be managed. So there is a cost impact, there is a handling capacity, there is skills. All those are after effect challenges because of that. So these needs to be handled, and the likes of the hyperscalers as well as other players has a significant role to play. And also the consulting organizations who bring the skills also has a role to play in here. So those are some of the big digital shifts happening as far as we're concerned. So what I would say is that in my company, for example, there are some interesting things that has been happening over the last couple of years, like Anya chatbot, which gives information about certain therapies. You can go into Facebook Messenger and look for Anya chatbot, and then chatting in different Indian languages, asking for information on specific diseases, and you will get responses. Yeah. To the extent of, we are now looking at yield management. We are looking at augmented reality for maintenance activities, utility cost reductions, and all those things are happening, and I'm sure it's happening in many of your organizations as well. Now, if I move on to some of the big challenges in pharma, of course, safety first, as you can see there on the top left, and the data security, that remains huge. But most important in our sector is compliance. I mean, I don't know whether I want to call it a challenge, but this is something which has significant portion of our mind space and attention on a daily basis, looking forward on how to secure the compliance. This, because we are making things which impacts the life of people. So there's a lot of standards, a lot of rules, a lot of policies, a lot of regulations that we need to comply with. And hence there is a lot of effort that goes into this space. It is challenging, but we try and stay ahead of the game. It is very interesting to note that the regulators are also very collaborative about this. They are also forthcoming in terms of what could be the technology interventions that can make life better in this space. So there's a lot of interesting work that is going on in this space. But I cannot emphasize enough about this space, data protection. This is as a CIO, as IT professionals, which is out there. Nothing is enough in this space. We have to be on our toes. There is a lot of different blocks, as you can see there. I'm not going to talk through all of that. At any point in time, the organization is putting the trust on the technology and the systems which is used to run the organization. It is our responsibility to work with the stakeholders, internal as well as external, to make sure that the data is protected and it is available in an unspoiled manner when the data is needed. And even if the worst happens, where there is an attack or something, then we need to have mechanisms in place so that the data is made available with the RTO, RPO objectives that we would have agreed with the stakeholders. There has to be business continuity plans in place until that recovery happens. So there's tons of importance that needs to be given in this area. If you have not taken this seriously, please do, because nobody knows when things can go wrong. Okay. How much time do I have? It's 2:30 already. Maybe I think this is the last slide. Looking to the future, among all the doom and gloom that we have, I think the future is still looking bright. It can only get better. It is in a pretty bad state. And what it has done, it has created a momentum in the digital transformation, which is going to show us the path to that bright future. But when I look at healthcare, this is the area, patient-centric care. This is the area where there is going to be a lot of focus, a lot of work, and the future is going to evolve with time. Not only in terms of just delivering the care, but also in terms of making sure there is transparency, there is quality, and there is a collaborative mechanism to make sure that the patient is getting the care, the diagnosis is done appropriately, and the delivery of whatever it is, whether it is medical intervention or surgical intervention, then that is delivered appropriately, and effectively. And the digital ecosystem will make this better. Okay, this is a very, very interesting area, as I already mentioned. Telemedicine, as it stands, I don't think it's leading to healing as such. In some cases, yes, but I think with the advent of a lot of technologies, which is coming up, like the augmented reality and other technologies which is out there, this will evolve further, leading to healing from the distance. Okay, of course, surgical interventions, probably you still need to be there, but we already know that doctors do robotic surgery sitting in a different city already, right? So there will be physical contact of the patient in the surgical room, but there is technology which is out there which is going to make this even better. And in the organization, this is a complex area, but I try to keep it as simple as possible. There will be digital transformation in terms of further empowerment of the employees, further quality engagement with the customers, optimize our operation. When I say optimize, it is going to be in such a way that it will impact the top line, bottom line, and the productivity of the organization and the quality outcomes, which ultimately will lead to transforming the product or maybe the service that you're trying to deliver. And how is that going to happen? It is through the systems of intelligence. Yeah, with all the different technologies that we just mentioned, that systems of intelligence aided by the data scientists, data engineers, and the domain experts which is out there is going to significantly transform the organizations that we are all working in, leading to a better quality product or service. This is very, very crucial. The people process technology intersection has become ever more important than ever. And the technology circle has become a lot more prominent, because of the digital transformation that has happened over the last couple of years. If we deliver projects, if we deliver initiatives just in the name of technology, it will never fly. Just in the name of people, not easy. Just in the name of process, not easy. So we have to have that intersection working effectively. And last but not least, the government and the policymakers has a significant role to play in this puzzle. As we know, in India scenario, we have the PLI 2.0, which is out, which is hopefully going to help us reduce the reliance of us as a market on API on foreign countries, and get back the glory that we used to have in this field before we moved on to doing something better in pharma. But this has to come back, and there is more to come in this space. The Make in India and the other initiatives will deliver significant advantage for us. I think I probably ran out of time. I would stop there and probably take any questions that you might have.
Mr. Sreeji, that was absolutely amazing. A big round of applause, and I request you to clap for yourself with me.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was absolutely fantastic. And I mean, what really caught our attention, especially, was when you mentioned that incident, right? You click the link and hard earned money down the drain is just gone. It seemed like an episode from Crime Patrol and Savdhan India. I mean, I've been.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow, that's a very, very costly lunch, 75,000. Absolutely insane. Thank you so very much, Mr. Sreeji, for keeping us one step ahead from such hackers and crooks. Fantastic. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. My pleasure.